Yeah, I mean, chat is an ebb and flow, too. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. The only thing I find...
So, we meet again, Lady Yuna.
Hold on, I'll wait till after this.
Yes?
You look troubled. Is there anything I can do?
Well...
I see.
Maester Seymour, let me show you to the command center.
Hold. I have a request.
Yes, Your Grace.
I need to have Summoner Yuna and her guardians let through to the command center.
But Maester Seymour... Maester Seymour, sir.
This guy's got some
Do
balls.
not worry. I will take full responsibility.
Very well, they may pass.
It is done.
Oh, thank you, Your Grace.
This is another great moment. Where it's like...
Yuna, it's time to go.
You get this feeling that there's a
right.
secondary reason he did that, but you're not really sure why yet.
Who does he think he is?
And,
He's a maester.
Titus already
Get
hates
used
him.
to it, yeah?
I like that Seymour is like constantly part of the plot. That's like one of the main weaknesses with some of the older Final Fantasy games, especially like 8 and 9, where the villain, 9 not so much, but because I would honestly say that Kuja is just the villain. But you know, we talked about how the final boss in 9 kind of appears out of nowhere, like he does, but he doesn't. At least thematically, he makes sense. 8 is a bit of a yikes. Like 8 with the the whole game. It seems like Adia is a great enemy, and then suddenly she's not, and you're just like, wait, what's going on? It would have been better, like if Adia was actually evil, then it would have been great because she's actually part of the plot for quite a while. But like, I like how they rectified it here, where Seymour is like, Seymour and Sin are both very entwined with the plot constantly. Like, everywhere you go, you're either dealing with Seymour or Sin or both. You know, right at the beginning of the game, we watch Sin obliterate Xanarkand, and then immediately after that, watch him obliterate the other place. I'm blanking on the name. What's the name? Kilika. I knew it started with a K. So, like, we're constantly seeing the effects of the villains on the world. And we're also seeing the effects of Seymour on the party constantly as the game's going. And that's one of my favorite things about 7, too, is like how Sephiroth is constantly intertwined. But I would make the argument that even more so in this game, because there is kind of a lull in 7 where you don't see Sephiroth for a while. Here, I think everywhere you go, you're seeing either Sin or Seymour or both, which is cool. So what I was saying before that started, was the only thing I struggle with lately with chat and, you know, community and everything.
Hail, Maester Seymour.
Is during Fantathon, sometimes I miss stuff that chat's talking about, because it's not actually because chat's going too fast. It's because I'm so focused on the game and trying to like do the let's play and talk about what I want to talk about and try not to miss anything in the game, because if I miss something in the game, then, you know, people are like, oh my god, Death, you missed that. So I'm trying to like make sure I don't miss anything, but then sometimes I miss stuff in chat. So like that's the only struggle I have. But I certainly don't have a struggle being close to the community. I've been closer to the community lately than ever before. We just get closer and closer as we go, honestly. Like, I chat with so many people off stream and always try to be connected to everyone, and like CRC keeps us closer. And whenever I feel like there's a lot of new faces that we aren't close with yet, I always try to do some kind of community thing to kind of reinvigorate and like grab a couple extra people and bring them in and make that the new close-knit community. So I'm always thinking about that. Always trying to do that as much as possible. Speaking of which, it's almost April. Wink, wink. Wink, wink, almost April.
Brave crusaders of Spira, protectors of all Spira. Believe in the path you have chosen. Let faith be your strength. I, Seymour Guado, Maester of Yevon, will bear witness to your deeds today.
Sir!
Stay
What's
away
going
from the
on?
summoner.
Why is Maester Seymour backing the Crusaders, eh? They're using Albed's Machina. They're violating the teachings.
Even going against the teachings, they're willing to risk it for the greater good. Waka, I think Maester Seymour sees that too.
Lulu!
I can only speculate.
I like Lulu's
Ask him
answer.
yourself.
Like, I don't know, so I'm not gonna say.
Ah, Sir Oran, it is an honor. I would be most interested in hearing what you've been doing these past 10 years.
I've got nothing to say about it.
I see.
You're right.
Sir Oran must be a great asset as a guardian.
Your Grace!
Please, there's no need for formalities.
Excuse me. Maester Seymour, why is your lordship present here, sir?
Please, speak as you normally would.
Isn't this operation against the teachings of Yevon? Aren't you gonna stop them?
It's true. I should. However, both the Crusaders and the Al-Bed truly wish peace for Spira. This Operation Mihen was born from that wish they share. Although it may be sacrilege to Yevon, their intentions are pure. And I, Seymour Guado, the person, not the Maester of Yevon, as a denizen of Spira, I wish them well in their endeavor.
But using Machina, that's bad, isn't it?
Pretend you didn't see them.
Beg your pardon, but that's not something a Maester should say.
Then pretend I didn't say it.
You're kidding.
From the first time I laid eyes on him, I never did like Seymour. But you know, some of the things he said that day, they made a lot of sense to me.
Man, can you guys tell I like this game or what? Because every single scene I want to talk about. I love so much how they show Seymour here. Like, with the ominous music and the way he looks at Yuna, you're like, oh, I don't like this guy. And then he has that speech and you're like, okay, I kind of like this guy. And it pulls at your emotions like, oh man, like what what should I be feeling right now, you know? It's like, it's so good. Also, from what Joe said earlier in chat, he said that he likes Seymour at first, but he doesn't like him later. I'm the same way. I really like Seymour. He's like one of my favorite villains, but I don't like the end of Seymour. But we'll talk about that when we get there. But there are parts of like the ending of him that I don't really like. But I really like Seymour up to a point. I think he's really good at the start. And like the general, when you first see Seymour, the whole thing about him is like he's trying to bring the Guados and humans together. by being a maester. So, like, that's already kind of a cool, like, you want to be on the side, like, okay, yeah, equality, let's go. And then here, like, he doesn't say it, but the fact that the Al Bhed and the Crusaders are working together kind of fits with his whole mantra of, like, equality. The same way that Guado and Human, he wants to get together, he wants the Al Bhed and the Crusaders to get together. So, like, it's sticking with his his morality. It makes sense that Seymour would support this. It's not random that Seymour supports this. It's not, like, confusing as to why he supports this. It makes total sense that he would support this, because it fits with, you know, what we were given at the start.
Excuse me, Lady Summoner Yuna?
Yes.
The command center. Maester Seymour requests your presence there, ma'am.
He just left
Thank you.
2 seconds ago. Why? How did this already happen?
Take that road to the command center. It's not far. We're still in the midst of preparations this way. Sorry.
Shut up, Klasko. We really didn't need that scene. You could have just walked this way and, like, there could have been, like, a barrier or just, like, some guards standing there. We really didn't need Klasko to come out and be like, duh. Seymour wants you to go that way, duh.
Good time, lad. Sneak past the guards, I did.
Also, Advent. Thank you so much for the 43 months, my man. And Salmon, thank you for the gifted sub to Patch Adams. And Salem, thank you for another 1,000 bits, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Emblem, thank you for the 29 months. And can I get some foam in the chat for Daddy Jakey? With the $100 donation. Hello? Excuse me? Come again? What's that number? Holy cow. Thank you, man. This is... Oh. Oh. I take that.
Be making a fortune with Operation Meehan prices. But you, lad, you get a discount. I owe you one, eh? Welcome to Oakas.
Better owe me a discount. Look at how cheap these Phoenix Downs are. Boom. I love how the flans come
Watch
in.
and weep, Crusaders!
Bloop.
Bring it on!
Holy cow, Daddy Jakey with the sub as well. Look with the crewman. We'll play those alerts in a little bit. Thank you so much, man. Holy cow. Hey, see you, Salem. Thanks so much. Welcome to the crew, dude. Hope to see you later, or if not, we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Seems like a good time to play Blitzball, right? I love how, like, every fight is still, like, one enemy per character. Like I said, it kind of does this for a while. But eventually we get to more unique enemies. But for now, most of the fights are still a lineup of 2 or 3 enemies in which one character of your party one-shots them. Hey Death, I was wondering, have you learned how to take a pizza out of the oven yet? Is there a joke here I'm missing? Didn't I tell a story once of, like, dropping a pizza? I don't feel like I've ever dropped a pizza. It was the time my oven caught on fire, but that wasn't because of pizza. I've made an epic song about oven mitts. I'm gonna need that on Spotify. You've got my attention. Yeah, I didn't even take it out of the oven, I just ate it. I think my wife has a problem. So we had frozen pizza on Wednesday because this guy was supposed to come out and fix our dishwasher, and he didn't, but we thought he was coming, so I was like, alright, we're just gonna make frozen pizza tonight. So we made frozen pizza, and then yesterday, I forget what happened, but we couldn't make dinner last night. So my wife goes, we should get a pizza. And I say, we just had pizza last night. And her response was, and so we got pizza. So I mean, yeah, I didn't really care. I got wings from the pizza place, so I didn't want pizza twice. But we're just barely not killing things. Maybe I should equip stuff. Let's see. That'll help. Dark Touch is cool. She is. She's quite wise. Oh, you missed a T there, Halo. There you go. You got it. I've accepted that this game just isn't for me. It's a good game, but I don't like it. That's fair. That's what's great about the Final Fantasy series. There's a Final Fantasy for everyone. They're unique enough to where, you know, if you don't like one, there's still plenty of other ones you might like. I think I'm fortunate in that I don't dislike any of them except 15. But like, this whole Fantathon, I've liked all the games. None of them, like, didn't resonate with me. You know? Now, I mean, we'll see what happens from here, because we're going to be playing... Well, we're going to be playing X2, which I know I both hate and like. But then we're going to be playing 11. And I, in general, dislike MMOs. So, there's a chance I don't like 11. There's also a chance I don't like 14, but I feel like I'm going to like 14. And there's also 15, which I hate, so... I guess that'll be my time to... dislike what we're playing, but... Up to this point, I've enjoyed all of the games quite a bit. Even 3, which I would probably say is my least favorite so far, I still really enjoy. This one, yeah? It should be in here. Skip every cutscene. I can enhance my Final Fantasy 15 experience with the DLC. That is incorrect. Oh, sorry, Vita. I still appreciate it. The DLC is better than the original game, but you have to play the original game to get to the DLC. The DLC is still Final Fantasy 15, even if it's better. So I'm not going to enjoy it. Can enhance my experience by not playing it. Yeah, sorry. You know how Final Fantasy X isn't for some people? Well, 15 is not for me.
You like that?
The enemy took so long to, like, dissipate that we were just staring at Titus's face for like 10 seconds, and then he just goes, "You like that?" That was great. Yeah, I mean... Final Fantasy 15. Do you like that?
You want some of this?
So, how shall we do this?
You're gonna cast fire on the plant. That's how you're gonna do it. Yeah, I lost my train of thought now. After that. How's it going, Arco? Why would you say you are all probably against self-promotion and then self-promote?
We've been expecting you.
Awkward.
Please proceed to the command center.
In the end, I wasn't able to stop them, as you can see. But seeing their fierce determination, I couldn't just sit there. So I decided that I would do everything.
Here we go, Shalinda. Now we're talking.
To help them.
Love it. I still don't know if I'm ever gonna... I don't know what I want to do with First Soldier. Yo, Bunker, thank you for the 46. Appreciate it, man.
Wait, damn it!
Okay, Waka, jeez. Remember that quote. Yeah, we have a place on the Discord where you can post your streams. But yeah, don't don't do that. This is against the rules, so here we go. Yeah, I'm still hearing new quotes. It's crazy. This game has so many quotes. Holy moly. Just a pro streamer tip. If you go to people's chat and willingly break their rules, they're probably not going to visit your stream. It's probably going to have the opposite effect. A sphere grid randomizer? That sounds fun.
The presence of a maester and a summoner is great for the troops' morale. Myself included. Thank you for being here, my lady.
There's a reason that it's a rule, like, pretty much on the entirety of Twitch. Because it usually has the opposite effect anyways. What I've heard from every streamer I know. I know it's against the law, but I'll be robbing you today. Oh, that's fine, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, don't do that. Don't willingly break people's rules.
Lady Summoner, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? Alright, see ya. So give me a heads up. Thanks, I wasted my X potion on the stupid Choco Eater, so appreciate that. I played first soldier and got first every time, so I'm 100% positive I only fought bots. That's sad. It's like a new game. How are you getting bot games? Does really, like, no one play it? Oh. Oh well. Still got 8. Yeah! Thanks for the quotes, Titus. You're doing good out there. Doing a good job. I mean, I might unironically enjoy First Soldier. I don't hate Battle Royales. I played Apex Legends for quite a while, but I just don't like mobile games. I just have no desire to play mobile games. So until it's like a game I can realistically play on a console, it doesn't feel like just a mobile game on console. I'm not really going to be interested in it. Just really fallen out of
no time to waste.
Mobile
Let's
games for a while now. Yeah, also, I do agree, like, I'm kind of an outlier in that I grew up playing RPGs and first-person shooters. Like, pretty much the first 2 games to truly, like, capture me in a way that was more than just play the game and play something else was Final Fantasy VII and Doom. And then my first big content creation game was Call of Duty, followed by Final Fantasy VII. And so I have the unique situation of being, like, specifically connected to first-person shooters and RPGs. but I don't feel like there's that much of an overlap between Final Fantasy VII fans and Battle Royale fans. So I'm not really sure what their plan was. I feel like, I mean, like, Square Enix is all about mobile games. Like, all about mobile games, especially in Japan. And so to make a Final Fantasy VII mobile game, or several, which they have, is not surprising. And then I guess they just figured Battle Royales are so big that they should make one. But I'm still a bit confused. Still a bit confused as to why it's Final Fantasy VII. Why couldn't it just be a Final Fantasy Battle Royale? Why specifically 7? That's so strange to me. Why couldn't it just be Final Fantasy and have, like, all sorts of cool Final Fantasy stuff in there, like Chocobo GP, basically? Who keeps leaving these books around? Do people just drop books on the floor when they're done reading them? What's going on? I do. You're just walking down the street with a book and you're like, I'm done with this. Just drop it. I want to be... You know how like some of the characters in like Mario Kart are like kind of goofy because they have to come up with like Bowser in a cart is like kind of goofy. I can only imagine like an actual full-fledged battle royale with like Final Fantasy characters. You have like a Malboro running around with an AK-47. That'd be great.
Why only you, sir? I want to fight too.
Orders are orders.
I'm not a cadet anymore, sir. Let me go with you and I'll prove it to them.
Guarding the command center is important too, you know.
But I came all the way from Besaid to fight Sin, sir.
I know, but an order's an order. To your post, Crusader.
But, sir!
I'm gonna run away.
They let you through, huh?
Kata deserves better.
At least there's no chance he'll get hurt. Why are you guys fighting anyway? Aren't the almighty Al-Bhed Machina enough?
They still need some time to get them ready. Our job is to keep Sin at bay till they're done. Waka, I might not get another chance to say this. It's about your brother.
Luzu, no!
What?
I'm the one who convinced him to enlist. I'm sorry.
Waka! That's enough, Waka!
When we used to play Blitz together, Chapu used to say... He said that when we won the cup, yeah, he proposed to Lulu. And then one day, he goes off and becomes a crusader, just like that.
Chapu also said to me that being with your girl is good. But keeping Sin far away from her is better.
Lou, you knew?
Luzu told me before we left.
She hit me too.
All Crusaders in the Vanguard are to assemble on the beach.
That's my cue.
Luzu, don't die out there.
So you can hit me more?
Lots more.
Sir Luzu, please! Please don't go!
I have to, Yuna.
Let him go. The man has already chosen his path, as you did when you became a summoner.
It would be a long time before I ever really understood the reason why Yuna let Luzu pass that day.
Another great, scene to show what's to come. Although, kind of a weird, sign of weakness from Yuna, which I love. I love how dynamic her character is. She doesn't just always do what Yuna do, you can't just say, this is the way Yuna is, and this is the way she'll act in every situation. She has these moments of, weakness where normally she would understand that, but she sees him walk away and has this moment of weakness and is like, don't go. And then Orin reminds her, and she's like, oh yeah. Also, one thing I was thinking about during that scene, the relationship between Chapu and Lulu. Not the relationship, because obviously they were going to get married. But, the dynamic between being with Lulu or protecting Lulu from Sin is extremely similar to Barrett and Marlene. How Barrett has to protect Marlene by not being with her. I don't know why that came up in my head, but kind of interesting. It's obviously not a reference or anything, it was just something I was thinking about. It's yeah, it's really similar. No, it is definitely a sign of weakness, because before she spouts all these things about how she's made her choice and Guardians have made their choices, and we have to do what is right and what protects people. So that's what she believes. So if she truly believes that, she should not have jumped in front of him. But she does, because she has this moment of weakness of but I know you and I don't want you to die, And then Orin reminds her of her own. Orin isn't teaching her something there. Orin is reminding her of her own morals. And once she remembers, she's like, oh. Oh yeah, and because they were just talking about Chapu. You don't see it that way? How do you see it? I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to jump in front of him. I'm just saying, according to her values, she normally wouldn't do that. But she's so connected to Luzu that she doesn't want to see him go. I don't mean weakness in a way of, like, negative. I'm talking, like, if you're standing in an airport and your significant other is about to get on the plane, and you know you should probably just stand there and let them get on the plane, but you have, like, that moment of weakness, and you're like, wait! And, like, run up and give them one more hug or something. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, like, weakness, like, in a bad way. I'm talking, like, you're overcome with emotion kind of thing. Like, you know that they need to get on the plane, but you have this moment of, like, wait! You know, like, that's what she's experiencing. Because she knows he should go, and she knows by her own values he should go. But she has this moment of like, but I don't want you to die. Yeah, I guess weakness is kind of the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Like, because she knows he should go. He knows that she shouldn't stop him. But she does, because she's conflicted. Her resolve wavered. Yeah, it's probably a better way to put it. Because like I said, by her own admittance, the Crusaders should do what they do. She even explains that to Titus. She says, you know, Crusaders do what they do because they want to protect people. So.
You will hurt no one.
Yeah, I keep seeing it in the chat, like, how good of a character Lulu is. I kind of forgot how good of a character Lulu is, honestly. For whatever reason, I don't usually focus on her, but this playthrough I've been focusing on her more because people have been pointing it out. And man, she's really cool. I love how, like, she is the exact she is the exact opposite of Pain. You know? Like, Pain is probably my favorite character in X2, but she's still not a good character. Like, because she's just, she's so stereotypical, like, I don't know. There's just, I mean, I have to play through X2 again. Maybe there's more there that I forget. But from what I remember, she's just, like, throughout the whole game, they're just kind of like, well, Pain is just that way. Like, that's just the way she is. And you just have to accept her for the way she is, because that's the way she is. But Lulu, they give this great, like, reasoning as to why she's, like, very abrupt and mean to Wakka, like, borderline mean to Wakka, and, like, all of it has a purpose, all of it has a reason. You empathize, that you're empathetic towards her. You know? Instead of just having this, like, emo character that's just like, that's the way I am. You know, like, they do it justice.
Miss me?
No. She's really cool. And that doesn't mean that she, like, changes later. She's still herself, but we get a little bit of the reasoning and the backstory for her personality instead of it just being like, that's the way she is. Like Squall, yeah, like, Squall's probably a good example too, where it's like, throughout the whole game, they try to give reasoning to Squall and just be like, that's the way he is. And they give you a little bit here and there, and then... I think, to be fair, I think Squall is way better than Pain. Like, they do delve deep-ish into, like, his personality problems and how, like, he has a hard time communicating with people, and they do go down that path in a way that makes sense. So I shouldn't say that he's, like, 100% awful or anything, but there do be times where the characters are just like, oh, Squall, that's the way you are. But they do a better job with Squall, where by the end of the game you understand at least somewhat why he is the way he is. But I think Lulu, they really did such a great job. Here's a question. Does anyone like the spheres? Like these? I really feel like speed, mana, and power should just be free. Like when you get to that point on the board, it should just be free. Like ability, I understand. And like the special ones, and like the key spheres. But you get these from like every fight ever, and you also get XP from every fight ever. So like, what's the point? If, you know, you're out of speed spheres, you'll fight some more fights and get speed spheres, but you also get sphere levels. I don't know. I guess maybe there's a world where, like, you have to find a specific enemy that has speed spheres, but I don't think that's ever happened to me. Maybe it will during this playthrough, but... like, especially power spheres, you always have, like, 1,000,000. It's almost like, what's the point? Yeah. Now, like, the special spheres are cool, so you have to decide when you should use them and who you should use them on and stuff. And that I like, but... if you already... I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you already got the sphere level, you should just get what you get, you know? It shouldn't have that extra step, maybe. Kind of reminds me of the license board in 12, where it's like, you bought the magic, you got the ability to use the magic, then you still have to get a stupid license for it, because why? Like, the license thing was always like this extra step that felt unnecessary. We got life. That's nice. Is that empty? Oh, I got... oh, this. Dude, I love the names of Wakka's balls. Blind Pass. Scout. Yeah, the license system makes sense, but I just never liked it. The remaster, the way that they did licenses in that one, way better. Yeah, definitely. Definitely like that much better. The original version, the one we'll be playing for Fantathon, I have a bit of a gripe with the licenses. They were kind of meh. They just felt like this unnecessary extra step. I remember when I played the game as a, at that point, young teenager, I think. And just feeling like there were so many steps just to cast fire. It was like, okay, I gotta get the ability, and then I have to go buy it, and then I still have to equip it and license, and it's like, oh my god, just let me cast fire. I remember that's how I felt about it. Maybe I'll feel different about it this time through, but I remember specifically being annoyed with how many steps it took.